Just to let you know, we have a lot of political dignitaries here today, and what we're going to do is, since we do have a time limit for some of the people who are going to speak, we're going to let them speak first, and then I'm going to introduce you to some of those dignitaries. So it's my distinct honor to introduce this next gentleman to you. He is a candidate. His name is Dennis Lamare. He is a candidate for the House of Representatives for New Hampshire's 2nd District. Dennis grew up in Newport, New Hampshire, in a family of 7 children, where he learned the lessons of self-reliance and independence. Dennis says that he has lived a life doing the right thing for the right reasons. He attended Boston University and has enjoyed a wide variety of careers, most recently as an independent insurance agent. He lives with his wife of 28 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dennis Lamare.
To find out who he's talking about, would you let me know? Just a couple of corrections here. I'm from a family of 6 children. My parents weren't that ambitious. But I was the last of the 6, so I had a lot of hand-me-downs. There was no hand-me-ups. But it does tell a lot about a person from where they come from and the background that they're here for. Growing up, we had nothing, and we fought hard to keep it. But we went beyond that. We always looked toward bettering ourselves, and we always looked for helping other people. Even when we had very little, we knew that there were people that had less than we did, and we were willing to share it. We never locked our doors, so anybody was welcome to come in at any time without knocking. And we shared our homes with our cousins when there was difficulties in their homes. So we shared, and we knew compassion. But we also knew that we didn't want to have a safety net to become a hammer. So we put a little bit of a restriction on, if somebody's going to come and live with us, they're going to help out. They're going to participate in the family. They're going to work to make our family work and prosper, also not drain off us. So that was instilled in us, that we don't generally stay longer than we're needed, or the occasion needs. So we went forward, and my life worked the way it did. I went to Boston University for 2 years, and I had to come home. That was right at the end of the Vietnam War, and my brother came back from the war with schizophrenia. And we had to make a family decision. It was to either me continue on with college and continue my life, or come home and help out with the family, and I chose to come back home. And that changed my life's direction, because I wanted to become a doctor, and it hasn't happened. But what I did was I made my life what it is today. I always tried to get a job that bettered my family, increased my income, and gave my life a future, and my family a future. And that's what I want to do for going down to Congress, is always work for what is right. And being right isn't always popular. And defending the Constitution isn't always popular. Isn't that right, Mr. President? We have to make sure that the people that are in Washington vote for our rights and our freedoms, and not to vote to limit them. The other reason I'm running for Congress is I'm not happy with the way that some of the votes are happening down here, even with our own Congress people. And that's my right to do it, because I'm an American citizen, and I can do my redress of Congress, and I can stand up and do what I'm doing. When I ran for Congress 2 years ago, the Senate 2 years ago, my first premise was, do the people in Washington speak for me? And the answer was no. Even the candidates at that time did not speak for me, so I got into the Senate race. And I got out there and I made my way by myself. I paid for everything, I did everything myself, I had everything that I did in that race, I did myself. Was it necessary? Yes. Was it the right thing to do? Yes, because I got up and I voiced my opinion. When I go down to Washington as the congressman in District 2, I'm not just going to represent the western part of the state, I'm going to represent all of New Hampshire. Because I am a U.S. congressperson from New Hampshire. I will make this promise. I'm not going to make a list of promises, because I can't keep more than 3. And that's, when a bill comes before me to vote on, I will read it. If I don't have time to read it, I'm not going to vote on it. Okay? Then I'm going to look at the Constitution and see if it's something that I can vote on. Because I am bound and tied by my job and by the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, which is the powers of Congress. If there's something that is coming up for legislation that's not there, that belongs to the state and to the people, I'm going to vote against it. It's going to depend on the language, but I'm going to vote in the negative, whatever it is. And the third thing is, can we afford it? And I can tell you right now, with $15 trillion in debt, we can't afford it. So there's going to be a lot of no votes as far as spending is concerned. And that's going to be my promise to you. And I think that that list kept short, and keep the Constitution on my desk so that I can look at it and say, can I vote on this or not? That is my guideline. That is what I can do. Anything other than what's there, I can't do. So I look forward to representing the state of New Hampshire down in Washington, and I will come around and meet all of you and shake your hand, and you'll get to know me. If you have any questions, I'll answer them for you. If you have any statements, I'll listen to them. And let's go ahead and have a great time here in New Hampshire. And thank you, Diane, for inviting me, and you all the great people of New Hampshire. And a good time here with you. Thank you.
GrokTV.